I've been the guy to chase women before. I've been the guy that has had women chase me. I've been the guy to fuck up a good relationship and a good situation. I've been the guy to put myself in a bad situation because I ignored the red flags. The truth is, I've had some interesting experiences dating, dating women all over the world, different backgrounds, cultures, different languages. And as I was sitting here, fellas, another late night conversation, journaling, I was thinking to myself, what are 7 habits that, I've cultivated that has helped transform my dating life and that can help you transform yours? And so that being said, fellas, let's get right into it, man. The first thing I wrote down was you have to make her invest also. What do I mean by that? In this modern day and age, and I'm speaking from a global perspective from what I've experienced of being with women everywhere, oftentimes, right? And I'm not talking about chivalry because I believe in being a gentleman for sure, but it's a different day and age, right? With the abundance of attention, right? People look at you as an option. The truth is, you have to make a woman invest, especially initially. And so, what this looks like is I'll give you an example. I went on a date with a girl, and she expected me to call her Uber to the establishment the very first date. And I told her, no, we're going to go there. We're going to meet each other there. Now, I'm going to get to know you. You're going to get to know me. It's not a one sided thing. And she got angry. But in the end, it actually turned her on more. She told me, oh, I'm used to guys just, doing everything. And it's not going to be that. Listen, people value what they put effort into. And so if you are spoiling, if you are giving, right, a lot to a woman before she has had the opportunity to earn it and to prove herself to you why she's worthy of your resources and time, she's not going to value you. And we're going to get into that later into this video. You see, guys will take women on these extravagant dates, right? The very first date, right? And so what this does is it spoils a lot of women. Now, if you have a fantastic woman, by all means, treat her right when she has proven to you that she's worthy of that kind of treatment. But you have to make a woman invest just as much as you. And so this look like this, fellas, right? So this is what I've learned. This is what I do. This is what I have all my clients do as well, especially if you want a relationship that has a natural, healthy, masculine, feminine dynamic. Whenever I am courting a woman and I'm considering bringing a woman into my life, she has to be of utility. I know exactly the kind of lifestyle I'm building. I know all of the things that I'm juggling. I like to have a woman that's going to be of some aid and some assistance in my life. Otherwise, what do you really bring into me? I have a chef. I have a maid. Like I can do everything myself. I'm pretty self-sufficient, right? If need be, I can cook my own food. I can do everything myself. I like somebody that can at least bring something. If I'm chilling with a woman and she's at my house, I'll just ask her for like a simple favor, like, get this for me, drop this off in the trash, do this, do that. It seems like a very small gesture, but what you're doing on a psychological level is you're tapping into that part of her that wants to be of service to a man. That's the God's honest truth. As I've told you guys before, a woman is best in a relationship when she is seeking, when she is serving, and when she's looking up for the approval of her man. But a lot of you guys rob your women of that natural desire to be of service by rewarding her too soon. This goes far beyond just women and intersexual dynamics. This is life. If you give somebody something, they don't value it, right? For all of my coaches out there and mentors, right? If you offer a product at a low price point, chances are the perceivable value is not going to be that high and people aren't going to take it that seriously. But let's say if it's a mentorship or mastermind, right? And it's thousands and thousands of dollars, right? It's $20,000, right? People are going to take it more seriously, more than likely, if they invest in said mastermind or said mentorship, right? It's because when you have no skin in the game, you don't take it seriously, right? Now, let me ask you guys this question. Why is it that us men hurt more when it's a breakup? That's a real question. Talk to me. Why is it that us men hurt more? It's because we've invested, we've paid for all the memories. You paid for all the dates. You took her here. I'm not saying that women don't invest, but more than likely you paid for 95% of the experiences, right? Men are naturally more possessive. And so to get your woman, right, more passionate about you, more invested in you, you have to make her do things. She cannot just get things for free. And once I learned this, once I internalized this and started implementing this in my dating life, my relationships transformed. There isn't a woman around me today that isn't of utility, that she's not. As I'm filming this video, I'm looking at a cactus that somebody bought me, right? Like, your woman should be doing nice things for you the same way that you're doing nice things for her. And if she's not investing in you, she's really not that into you, right? And so what I do is I make sure in some way, shape, or form that initially she's invested. Because once she's invested, people don't want to lose their investment. Okay. So that's the first one, guys. The first masculine habit that is going to transform your dating life. Make it a habit of making women invest also. There's no freebies around here. Okay. Let's move into number two. So for number two, fellas, I wrote down maintaining your own life, goals, and setting boundaries. What I mean by this is, as I said at the beginning of this video, I've been a guy before to rearrange things in my life for the girl that I was dating. I've been a guy to chase a woman. I've been a guy to pedestalize a woman. It has never ended well for me when I was out of my frame, when I was seeking the woman. And so as men, we have to be in our own frame and rooted in our own identity and living in our own life. It's a fact, right? You have to be focused on you. You have to have your own goals and be building a life that you're comfortable with being alone. So that now that you're comfortable with the life that you've built, you can bring a woman into your world. If you're not comfortable with your life, the life that you're building or that you built, you should not bring a woman into that world, because on a psychological level, you're going to be seeking approval and validation and love from her. And so you got to be able to set boundaries as well. I told you guys a little story last week of how this woman that I'm seeing, she wanted to come over last week after work, and she got off of work at 10 p.m. during the weekday. As much as I like being with her, seeing her, and it's, hey, yo, Cap, as crazy as you feel me, as crazy as it is, nah, baby, at 10 p.m., I'm in bed because I got to wake up the next morning and get to it. Right? So now that's me being congruent with my identity. That's me honoring myself. That's me living with my standards, up to my standards, right? And setting my boundaries. And truth be told, right? A woman will respect you more for having a standard, right? She can't just get you off rhythm with sex. She can't just get you off rhythm with her manipulation, right? So you have to have your own life, fellas. Once you have your own life to where you're so comfortable that you could be alone in this life, watch how you start attracting better quality women and better quality people. Because people can sense when you have a needy energy, an energy where you're just looking for somebody to come complete and patch different holes in your confidence, in your life. You have to work on those parts of yourself as a man, like I've said before. And so until you can cultivate a life that you're proud of, set your boundaries for everybody around you. This is how I live my life, right? Until you can do that, fellas, I wouldn't even recommend messing with women like that. But once you get to that point, it's going to completely transform your dating life. Trust me. Once you get to this point, fellas, a woman comes into your world, and due to you having a world, right, this allows her to feel safe. This allows her to be more feminine. This allows her to open up more. And every now and again, yes, due to her nature, she's going to test and probe you to see how congruent you are, right? This is who women are. That's fine, right? But because you're sturdy, you're just going to look at it and like, okay, yeah. Cool. So fellas, that's number two. Number three, I wrote down, oh, you see, every time I make one of these videos, for some reason, I end up skipping two and putting three as two. So that was number two. Number three is emotional control. Fellas, a lot of men are overly emotional, especially men that grew up with single mothers. Let's talk about it. You adopted the mentality and habits of your mother. You see, our subconscious mind and paradigm is molded by the first 7 years of our life, right? This is the control center of your life. And so if you grew up with a single mom, you're more likely to be overly emotional. Now, besides that, fellas, at all costs, we have to be rooted in ourselves and be able to control ourselves emotionally. Guys crash out over women, shooting people up, all types of things, right? Never let anybody get you outside of yourself. Realize the power that you have to control your mental state at any time, at any moment. And so what I've learned along my journey, right? Because I used to be the kind of guy that if I was feeling some type of way about a woman or whatever, I'd be sending paragraphs, she's sending paragraphs, and I'm in her world when I'm doing that. I will repeat that. She's sending me paragraphs, I'm sending her a paragraph, going back and forth. I'm in her world. I'm in the realm of femininity when I'm flustered and I'm going back and forth with a woman. We don't do that. We don't do that. I'll give you an example. The other night, it's funny. I always end up giving you guys real stories, like real honest stories. And perhaps sometimes I give a little bit too much information, which I don't think I do. But I just end up always giving you guys like a real story. So a couple of days ago, I was at my desk over here sitting working on a night like this. And I get a text message from this girl I'm seeing, right? And fellas, it's funny because you guys, from your perspective, right? You'll see, okay, Dudley uploaded a video today. It's a 17-minute video. I'm about to sit down, watch this video. Cool. 17 minutes, yo, Dud, that shit was great. Great information, good motivation. I appreciate the video, man. Salute, bro. But once the camera turns off, fellas, these YouTube videos are only a small portion, a small fraction of what I do in my business. I'm fucking grinding all day. I'm educating myself, studying, tending to clients. I got mad shit going on, family drama, people dying. I got lots of stuff going on. And so you can understand that, especially if you're a hustler, right? But I get a text from this shorty, and I guess like a day and a half, 2 days had gone by, and she started blowing up on me. She was like, you know, it's one thing to be busy, but another thing to not be interested, and da-da-da, you're the worst, and you don't talk to me, da-da, send me a whole paragraph, a whole novel. And I was at my desk, and I picked up my phone, opened the message, took a deep breath, and went right back to work. 12 hours later, I get a whole nother paragraph. I'm so sorry. I was in my emotions. I don't know, please. I know you told me about this already. And, you know, please don't leave me. Don't do that though. Just a whole nother messaging me on Facebook, this all type of stuff, right? Now, what would have happened if I would have engaged in her realm and stopped my work, was feeding my family, right? And started writing her back a paragraph right there and threw my whole rhythm off when I was in the zone working. You cannot let these women get you off center. You can't let anything get you off center. I told you guys before, you need to get to a point in your life as a man to where you respond and you don't react. What I mean by this is, responding is, not right now. Reacting is, what? The fuck is she talking about? I just took her out last week. Like, you know what I mean? And I did take her out last week. That's what's crazy. And so you have to be rooted in yourself and control your emotions. Life is going to continuously happen. Life gets hard. People are going to die. You're going to lose things. You're going to lose people. You might be on the brink of losing your mind. You're going to go through hardships. You cannot lose yourself emotionally, especially if you're a leader, if you're a father, you're a husband, whatever role that we have that we have to work in society. You need to be a rock. And if you ever feel like you need to have an emotional outburst, talk to your brothers. This is exactly why I created Modern Day Renaissance Men. First link down below. You cannot do this on your own. Modern Day Renaissance Man is the exact blueprint that you need to become the exact man that you always wanted to be, fellas. Tap that link down below. We're gonna get on a call, you and I or somebody from my team, to see if it's the right fit for us to work together on a one-to-one level. All right. But besides that, you have to be able to regulate yourself emotionally, because this is going to cost you money. This can cost you your life. This can cost you your relationships with friends, family, women, right? This can absolutely ruin your life as a man if you cannot control yourself emotionally. All right. And then for number 4, fellas, I wrote down value your time and know when to end an interaction. So what I mean by this, man, I wish I had my phone next to me because I would show you guys my schedule. Every day I get up, my Google Calendar is going off from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, right? I know what I'm doing. My studying, training, client calls, like family time, everything is in my calendar. And so I'm very organized. And I wasn't always like that, all right? I used to just wake up not knowing what my objective was, and I would find myself feeling guilty, lost, depressed, and feeling like I just had no direction, like I wasn't a man. And the truth is, fellas, the more you value your time, the more disciplined you get, and the more passionate you get about what you're building when you have something to build, you're not going to want to give your time to anybody. And I'm telling you this, right? It doesn't matter what beautiful woman comes into your life, what enticing offer comes into your life, going out with friends. Sometimes, like, you're going to want to be doing what you're doing. Like, I love what I do for work. I love spending time with myself. I love learning. I love reading. I love studying. Like, you feel me? I love talking to my family. Like, when you start to really value your time, fellas, you're on point. And so when you're dealing with women, they have to understand that you're not a regular man, that you're regimented, that your time is important, that your time is valuable. Now, don't be a dickhead. Don't be an asshole. Don't be arrogant about it. But if you go on a date, like for example, right? If it's a Friday night and I go on a date at 8 p.m., I typically like to be back in the crib by like 11. You know what I mean? 12. It depends if it's a nightcap or whatever, but I got shit to do. And so once you learn how to like value your time, you're going to start ending interactions at the appropriate time. I used to like be with women and I would like let things linger on. Like, nah, enjoy the date, have a fantastic time with her, connect, speak, vibe. And if she's not staying over, if it's not a nightcap or whatever, politely, hey, look, I'm really enjoying this time with you, but it's getting late and I've got to get going. So I can call you a cab home or whatever the scenario is. And you end that interaction on a high note. It's the same thing when you're socializing with other people, right? Connect, chat, build, and then know when to end the interaction and leaving people want more. This is actually a power dynamic that I've spoken about in many videos, right? You end the interaction on a high note and leaving people wanting more. It's the same things that TV shows and series do. What do? Build up the episode, build up the hype before, go through the episode, right? Ups and downs, right? Different things like that, different music, right? To evoke certain emotions. You're on a date having a fantastic time, right? Getting to know each other, nice banter, everything is cool, right? Connecting, fantastic evening. And then I gotta go. The episode ends, right? At a good part, or leaving the viewer wanting more. Leave the date with her wanting more. Allow her to lean out of her chair for once. Stop robbing women of their natural desire to want to chase a man. Women want to chase a man worthy of chasing. And so when you value yourself and you focus on yourself, what I've noticed in my life is that women start to chase. And so learn how to value your time and start ending interactions early, fellas. Number 5, this is a good one, is to start asking specific questions so that she qualifies herself to you. What I mean by this, fellas, is I used to be the guy that just used to be happy because like I had an attractive woman in my arm, right? That was a flex because like that would boost up my ego. That's actually weak. Beauty is the bare minimum for me now, right? I'm dealing with women who are legitimate models, gorgeous women. All that stuff sounds good to boost up the ego of a man. Oh, I'm dating a model. Cool. But when you're dealing with so many beautiful women, you start to realize that there has to be more, right? So for me now, beauty, yes, I like a beautiful woman, but that's the bare minimum. So when I'm on a date with a woman, there's a series of questions that I ask to get a peek under the hood of her psychology, of her customs, right? So for example, I'll be on a date and I'll ask a woman something like, so how's the relationship between you and your parents, right? I won't directly ask for the father yet. I'll just kind of disarm her. It'll come casually in conversation as I'm telling her about me. So, how would you describe the relationship between you and your parents? Okay. And how about your father? If she says that the father is not in the picture, or guys, I don't give a fuck what you think about it. To me, she's already disqualified. I'm just being honest. If there's no father in the picture, the first man that a woman will ever love that taught her how to have a healthy relationship with the masculine, how do you think she's going to be in a relationship with you? And especially if you are a man that takes your time in your life seriously and you're building something, you do not have time to be with neurotic women. You don't. Now, women are always going to be in their emotions, yes, but you don't have time to be with a woman that's not going to understand how to treat a man properly. And so you have to ask specific questions. Another question that I like to ask is, what role does love and affection play in your life? Just to gain the idea of how she is, how healthy her heart is, how she views love, how she views relationships, right? The X question will come in, right? So I can learn about the kind of dudes that she went for previously, the kind of dudes that opened her up, right? To know if it's a cornball or whatever. So your questions are going to be for your life and your standards, right? I have questions that I ask for my life, right? I like women who have healthy relationships with their parents, right? I like women who have an open heart, who are healthy, right? There's certain questions I ask. And then I also ask them, like, if I was talking to your best friend right now, how would she describe you? Obviously, she's going to say, for the most part, some positive things. Then I'll say, well, if there was a quality about you that your friend would honestly say that you need to work on or that's not favorable, what would it be? And when you ask a question like this, you're taking the pressure off of her because it's in third person. This is a psychological tactic, right? That the CIA uses. And I'll just casually ask women these questions. And then after the date, I don't know if I want to see her again. And so this will transform your dating life. This will save you time, right? But you have to be in abundance, because there's been many times that I've been on a date with a gorgeous girl, my God, and she didn't answer these questions correctly, and she never saw me again. But I wasn't always like that, right? I would want to be with women just because they were attractive, because after all, right, all I was seeking was sex. So until I started valuing myself more, I realized that sex isn't everything. And so once you start to have this mindset shift, fellas, and you're building something and you have a life that you're proud of, and you're a man that protects your space and your tranquility, and you love your life and you love yourself, and you're not going to just let any woman have access to you, you're going to start asking these screening questions to see if this woman even deserves your time. You have to reframe how you look at it. It's not, do you deserve her time? Does she deserve your time, your energy, and your resources? And so, fellas, that was number 5, man, I believe. Let's move into number 6. I'm giving y'all real shit right here, man. Number 6, I put detachment, right? Set an intention and then be detached. This is what everything in life, fellas. What has transformed my dating life is I realized that women, my God, one thing I've learned from dating women all over the world and just being with so many women, and I don't say that proudly, I'm just being candid about it, right? One thing I learned about being and experiencing so many women is that, bro, they're fickle. One second they're here, one second they're there, they're in their emotions, they got their own things going on, right? You cannot be attached to another human being. People will always let you down. And it goes back to what I was saying. You have to be comfortable with yourself and build a life that you love. The way that I move now, right? For example, I'm seeing a girl right now. Like, I'm going to be a nice person, a good person, right? Not a nice guy, but a good person, a good man. But I'm never going to be attached. I'm never going to future pace, right? Most guys, when they get a woman, and listen to me, listen to what I'm about to say. I'm talking about, I'm not talking about you guys who are smashing fives and sixes and possibly even sevens, possibly, right? I'm talking about when you finally get a smoking hot 8, 9 above, the woman that you actually desire. When you finally get the woman that you desire, a 9, most guys future pace, pedestalize, simp, get attached, overly communicate, overly express, overly display. You blow your load. I've learned, especially with the beautiful women, right? The women that I actually desire, I've learned that it's best to be detached. I know who I am. I know the amount of work that I've put in myself. And it's a it's a privilege for both of us to be getting to know each other. And wherever this goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it's been a pleasure. Because at the end of the day, you got to be comfortable with yourself. You can be with a woman for 20 years, and then one day she just wakes up and decides to leave you. And like I've said before, fellas, some might say that this is from hurt or whatever. I'm just being honest. You don't know who your woman is until she has leverage on you. So never give her leverage. Never give her leverage. You want to make a relationship work, be your full authentic self, right? Don't close your heart. Live with an open heart, be your full authentic self, but be detached. Set your intention, be detached, be present, enjoy the woman, enjoy your girlfriend or whatever, enjoy the person that you're seeing, but never be attached, fellas. Because attachment, I believe, is the cause of all pain and human suffering. Once you are attached to something, you see other animals, they live presently, but the human being, for some reason, we're the only one that's out of sync with reality, right? We can imagine it and think about the past and the future. All that exists is right now. When I'm on a date with a woman, when I'm spending time with a woman, right? Whether it's anywhere, I'm fully present. I'm enjoying this time. She's great. Yeah, she's saying that, I love you and you're so, intelligent. They butter me up. You're so intelligent. I love your style, whatever. I'm like, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You feel me? I appreciate it, baby. I ain't. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm really having a good time tonight, but I could never see this chick again. And you have to be okay with that. It's the same way that every time I go see my parents, I kiss my mom goodbye, I hug my dad. You don't know if that's the last time that you're going to see your parents. Everything in life is futile and fickle, right? Now we're getting into stoicism. So when you can maintain this mindset, fellas, you're going to live a rich life. And a rich life is being present. It's experiencing everything that we get to experience as human beings, but it's not being attached. All right. Last one, fellas. The seventh, I'm all over the place, man. The seventh masculine habit that will transform your dating life, I wrote down embrace playfulness, right? And humor. So I just got off of a serious tip, being detached. I'm a goofy dude, you feel me? In case you can't tell. I'm a serious dude when it's time to get work done, but I'm also a funny ass dude. And so when I'm with women, I like to have a good time, man. I like to tease them. I like to laugh, right? I like to do different shit. Me showcasing who I really am, because I used to be a little bit timid, right? But once I learned how to really express myself more and articulate myself better and really own my identity and own myself as a man, I started being the full spectrum of myself. And so what that looks like is when I'm around a woman, yeah, I'm a serious dude. I got a lot of responsibility. I got a lot of people that depend on me, a lot of shit going on. But I also don't take myself that fucking serious because life is funny as fuck.
That's how Kim Kardashian drives.
Because Courtney and Chloe and And so I try to find all of the like funny parts in life. And I'm constantly teasing women. I'm constantly joking on women. right? Especially if I find her super attractive, I'm gonna have fun with her and I'm gonna really see how good is her sense of humor. Because to be with me, you have to have a sense of humor because I don't want to be around a chick that's always uptight and serious. I'm already grinding, fighting for my life 24/7. When I come around my woman, I want to be able to laugh, right? So you gotta be able to vet women out to see, how funny they are. Like, what's their sense of humor? Can you just chill with each other on a Friday night at the crib and play board games and just like talk and like have fun and laugh? That's the kind of women I like. I don't like a bougie chick that's too uptight. Yeah, again, that can't really have fun. Nah, fuck that bitch. Take your bougie ass somewhere else then. You feel me? Take your bougie ass somewhere else. If I'm gonna be with a chick, we gotta be able to laugh. I gotta be able to have fun. You feel me? We gotta be able to do spontaneous shit together, right? You gotta be able to freaking like damn near prank me, right? I like that kind of energy between me and the woman I'm seeing. A woman that I can have like playful banter with. I can fucking roast her and she can roast me back. And so I wrote this because this will truly transform your dating life, fellas. If you can implement these different, characteristics, I would say, or just have these different standards for yourself as a man, watch your dating life completely transform. Watch the women that you start to attract because you have a standard in your life transform. Watch how much better, your experiences with women become.
I used to work the day away. I figured I could maybe pave a way. No, it's niggas that count the days till I fade away. But I always find my way to turn a bad look in the field to something. Day away. She hit me to say I'm on her mind, but my commitment to the game got me OT till I OD and then I fade away. Lately I've been giving down tones and meeting milestones, no way I'm giving all of me. She settled for a left hand with a gem over a piece of me. My mind's always as clear when she done climbing on the top of me. Really by the code, needs you to keep the same.